So I'm cheap. This is fast. He's good. I'm just kidding. I don't have names for all of you. But no, at a high level today, what we're really talking about is all of those things. And really the challenges that are presenting themselves with video production in the world of YouTube and so many other formats today. How is that at all affecting storytelling, production budgets? What sort of challenges are presenting both on the agency side and on the client side? Let's begin by first, if you would just quickly share a little bit about some of your own experience with regard to video development, and then from there we'll talk a little bit about how you're finding your role and the asks that you're making of each other changing.
Hi, my name is Pete Borum, and I am the CEO of Reelio and co-founder of Reelio. Reelio is a technology platform that makes influencer marketing more streamlined and optimized for brands and agencies. And we are, a major partner of Google's, and we also work with advertisers ranging from Visa, Verizon, to all of the major holding companies. And so we've been doing this for about 4 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Branco. I work with Endemol Shine Group. You might know us from big TV shows, Big Brother, MasterChef, and so on. But we also applied creativity within our company to work directly with brands or through agencies and so on, more and more on the online side, working together with influencers on the one hand, but also investing in our own channels where we are working together with sponsors and brands to integrate in those services. But more and more also directly on briefs for brands.
Hi everybody, I'm Delphine. I'm Chief Communication and Digital for L'Oréal Paris in France. We are working a lot with YouTube actually because we are picking up the beauty trends on YouTube and we are doing a lot of collaboration with the YouTubers creators. So this is very great for us to be here today. I have to say that Cannes is not unfamiliar to me because of the Festival de Cannes, but it is the very first time I had the chance to enjoy the beach, so that's great.
Nice.
And I'm Vic Palumbo. I'm the head of production at Deutsch LA, and we represent Volkswagen, Taco Bell, Target, Sprint, and a lot of other big national advertisers in the US. And we work with YouTube a lot because we manage all of their channels, putting their content on the YouTube channels, and as we're constantly creating our content for them.
How was last night?
Last night, as you can hear from my voice, I have the 48-hour talking over the crowd mixed in with a little rosé at the terrace. So sorry about that. I have some water.
You sound
right
very
below
good.
me.
You sound very, great. All right.
Is it sexy?
Yeah, super sexy. You got a side business going. All right, so first question first. I pose this to Delphine and Vic. What is changing about the way that you are engaging between brands and agencies today as a result of the demand for many more assets than ever before? How is it that you're needing to operate or plan differently, both your budgets and your messaging strategy?
From our brand point of view, I think it's not changing the gamers, it's more to change the game, the creative game. It means that we have to gather many people that are not used to work together. For example, we experienced lately a new way to work on a YouTube creative experience. We gather like five creative agencies, 5 L'Oréal brands, and 5 YouTuber creators. And the objective was to create the pilot for a new web series that would earn the millennial love. And it was very exciting because the rules were very simple but different the way we are working usually. It means that the rules were one brief only for each project. It was 2 weeks of creative process, just 1 day to shoot, 2 days to edit it, to post-produce, and then release. And it was a very different way to work. We had to let it go, frankly, which is not very L'Oréal compatible, but we had to. And it works very well. We had very good results on this.
For us, we've all been experiencing this kind of sweeping change, especially from a traditional agency where Deutsch has been for a long time, 30 years in this business. And over the past 5 or 6 years, it's been incredible how this has gone from having to make a campaign with 2 or 3 spots that runs for maybe 6 months at a time to making now basically still that kind of anchor spot, but then dozens and dozens of pieces of content that support that campaign underneath it. So for us, the challenges from both budget and time really play into it, because even though the amount of ask has increased 5, 10 times, the budgets haven't increased that much. So we've had to figure out how we were going to make all of this content within the percentages. Those ratios haven't really stayed the same. And it's been a real challenge, for I think everybody in the business to figure out how to do this. But at the same time, we've come up with some really great solutions.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about to what degree technology has played a role in helping you do some of the asset management that you just talked about, having millions more pieces of material to have to keep track of and potentially repurpose. Has technology in any way helped you simplify or be more efficient?
Yeah, actually the technology's been a huge help. Really, even just coming from the actual video production side, because clearly we all know now that with a GoPro and a laptop, almost anybody can be a publisher. So, but at the same time, it's created so many more assets. We've had to figure out how to keep our kind of dam system in place where we can controlling all of these assets, pushing all of those assets to social, and knowing when they work with a campaign and when they don't, and when we're supposed to pull them down. So we're put in place like a lot of different projects that we have working with Pam and the team there has figured out how we're really going to control these assets so they only live for the length of the campaign.
Right. Right. And I have a question for you, Branco, because I think asset management is also a challenge when you're working between global and local markets. So I'm curious to hear from your perspective if you've got any experience in actually simplifying that process so that you make available all of the assets to your local market so that they can be leveraged appropriately.
Well, I always describe how Endemol Shine is structured. There's almost like the United Nations, so there's a lot of different local teams with a high degree of freedom. Mm-hmm. I think there's no such thing as one size fits all, and we strongly believe both on the TV side but also online that it always needs to be locally relevant. So, for example, when we just launched a couple of weeks ago, we launched Coke TV together with Coke and together with Ogilvy, but it's done in 4 different languages and it's in 4 different territories, 4 different teams working on it with 4 different hosts, 4 local hosts, local talent, and so on. However, the editorial treatment is done centrally. So, for example, one episode, everyone goes out in their local country and really produce something around running a parkour in the streets and skateboarding, whatever. But then every week it has an identified topic. So last week it's about the Euros here, football. So everyone has the same editorial approach. However, the local editorial tweaks and the production tweaks are different.
Okay. So question for you, Vic. In terms of the role of the agency in managing this entire production process, how important is it for you to be able to actually stay close to the production process versus collaborate and partner with, say, publishers who might be more expert in a particular format?
Yeah, well, it's really important to us actually, because depending on our clients and our brands, there are certain influencers and certain people who are making content that we try to partner with. And we also try to get strategically get them in line with what our overall campaign idea is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important because a lot of people, can go out in the world and actually publish the content, for us and for certain brands. But if it's not in the same brand voice and the same brand message,